Today on Dr. Phil, you saw a victim of the man known as the Jogger Rapist talking about and appearing as a guest about his impending release.
Yeah, she was talking about her frustration with the Oregon Parole Board releasing him as a low-level sex offender.
Well, if you look at his psych evals, those are a real eye-opener. And then the other thing that he has done, he actually called one of the victims in our case and told her, "You girls are going to pay for this." And then
This is from prison.
Yes.
So he gets on a prison phone. He's in for what he's done.
So it was 1 month ago when Danielle Tudor turned to Coin 6 and worked with me to break the news of Richard Gilmore's upcoming release December 16th.
Yeah, Dan has been leading our coverage of how Gilmore will be living in subsidized housing in Old Town Portland. Well, now he has an in-depth look into why his victims, Gilmore's victims, say that he is far more dangerous than the parole board thinks.
So as I first told you last week, this parole board assessment scoring sheet gives Richard Gilmore a lot of credit for being over 60 years old, despite admitting to as many as 9 attacks. I also obtained these parole board psychological evaluations that paint a much different picture when he was in his 50s and younger.
I still remember the night that he kicked in our basement door.
Danielle Tudor tried to hide in her parents' bedroom before Richard Gilmore found her. It was 1979. She was 17. Danielle's case went unsolved until 1986, when Gilmore broke into Tiffany Eden's Gresham home. She was just 13. Eden's has spent her life trying to overcome the emotional damage.
I was an accomplished ballerina and jazz dancer, and I wanted to go and be a dancer. I didn't want to go and become a drug addict. That wasn't my plan. That's not what I wanted.
Eden's is proud to be 8 years sober as she wrestles with the idea of Richard Gilmore getting out of prison and why the parole board considers him a low risk of attacking again. We showed you this score sheet the parole board used recently to evaluate Gilmore's risk level. He scores a 0. That's largely because he turned 63 years old today, and it does not count the 7 or 8 crimes he confessed to but wasn't charged because the statute of limitations ran out. If it did, his victims say he could score as high risk. Coin 6 obtained these psychological evaluations of his risk to reoffend. The findings have varied through the years. In 2001, one psychologist called him a narcissistic individual and a danger to the community. But another said his personality disorder is in partial remission. He is now amenable to community-based treatment and supervision. Later evaluations painted a dangerous picture. In 2007, the psychologist who previously said he was okay to release decided Gilmore had over a 75% chance of repeat sexual offending within 10 years. At that same time, the parole board decided to release Gilmore without notifying Tiffany Eden's. She sued and forced the parole board to hold another hearing where she testified.
I can remember hearing my heartbeat from the outside of my body, in my ears, as if everyone just went like this. That's what it was like.
Gilmore also testified.
We all agree I need treatment. I need some form of treatment. I'm doing what I can in here.
The board reversed its decision to let him go. In 2008, a psychologist issued another warning. Mr. Gilmore has not worked through the issues related to his chronic and fixated sexual sadistic behaviors toward women. In 2012, one of 2 psychologists changed his mind again and gave Gilmore a favorable rating, saying Gilmore no longer fits the psychologic criteria for dangerous offender. The other saying Mr. Gilmore has not grappled with his dark side. That's the same year the parole board denied Danielle Tudor the right to be heard. It did not consider her a victim because her case was one of those that wasn't prosecuted. She threatened a lawsuit and won the right to speak. In 2014, Gilmore was evaluated as low risk, but was denied parole. In 2016, Gilmore had his last evaluation. The psychologist warned about his dark side and the dynamics that led to his serial rape behaviors and the underlying possible sadistic emotional feelings involved in the acting out rape behaviors. That's when Gilmore decided to cancel his parole hearing and wait 7 years until now, when his prison sentence is over and he has to be released.
So why are we willing to release someone into the community, which we actually don't know anything about his mental health?
So Multnomah County will be supervising Gilmore, and they tell me they will give him an initial risk assessment test when he gets out and take extra precautions with tracking him, despite being a low-level sex offender.
Yeah, I don't know that still if that brings a lot of comfort to the victim. So that Dr. Calistro, that gave him the favorable reviews twice,
Right.
he was fired eventually?
So in 2014, I did an investigation into Dr. Frank Calistro. He had told me he had been shot on 2 separate occasions while working for the Department of Corrections as a hostage negotiator. That turned out to be a lie, and he admitted it when I confronted him about it. And then the parole board had to stop using him. They fired him, so he was no longer working for them. But first he said he was not a danger, and then he changed his mind, yes.
Wow. Okay, it's disturbing.
You can read much more of my extensive reporting on this case from over the years right now at coin.com.